All right, good morning. So it's Jacqueline Morosco at Spirited Practice, and I would invite you to start today on your back with your knees bent. Okay, and so looking for a way to be on your back that you are comfortable with your knees bent, and you might have your hands on your body, so maybe one kind of, let's say, on your heart center or your chest, and then one below your navel. And start to make those long, smooth breaths, inhales and exhales. And as you are down here on your back body, noticing which parts of your body are connected to the floor, and also noticing how your body feels. And then once you feel connected, breath and body, what I want you to start doing is we're going to slide one leg slowly down to the floor. And so I started with my right, and so you're just going to move with your breath. So inhale, and you're dragging your heel along the floor, and it's hard sometimes if you get stuck on your mat. Inhale, extend, and really press with the bottom of the foot. Exhale, slide it in. And if you're having difficulty like I am, you can move the mat out of the way so that you can slide a little bit more easily. And you're just sliding that leg and noticing how that feels. Now, the next time that your knee is bent, I want you to turn your foot at an angle. Maybe I'm not really great at degrees, but like 30 degrees. And then you're going to slide your leg away at that 30-degree angle. Again, keeping the heel on the ground. Inhale, extend, and really press with the foot. Notice how that feels in your hip and your pelvis, right? And exhale, bring it back towards the body. And just kind of noticing like what happens as we do that. And again, the next time that your foot comes in, we're going to make that foot, back to bring that foot back to neutral, and then we'll move to the second side. Inhale, extend, and press with the foot. Exhale, slide that foot back in. And there's no rush here. And really, what I want you to pay attention to is any sensations that you feel in the leg and the foot and the pelvis area and your hips, low back, and you're just sliding with your breath. Now, once more, when the foot comes back in, you're going to turn your second foot now at a 30-degree angle and slide the leg away. So inhale, slide the leg, press with the foot, exhale, bring that foot back in. And so we can get so much information from this gentle little gliding movement. And when the foot comes back in, we're going to bring it back to neutral. So now both feet are back to neutral, knees are bent. And then let's bring the knees towards the body. And you're just going to gently start to move. Inhale, knees away from the body. Exhale, knees come in towards the body. Moving with your breath. This is one of those things I sometimes like to do before I get out of bed in the morning. It's nice to, like, you can get up from your desk when you're working sometimes. It helps to stretch that lower back a little bit. All right, so next time after you exhale, we're going to hold on to the right knee, and you're going to bring that left foot up towards the ceiling so that leg is perpendicular to the floor, and just start to roll through the ankle a little bit. So I'm holding on to this right knee, bringing it towards my body, reaching the left foot up towards the ceiling and rolling through the ankle. And eventually we'll come to a place where we stop rolling the foot. We're going to still hold on to that right knee, and you're flexing the left foot, and you're going to exhale as you reach that foot towards the ground, but you're not going to let it drop. Inhale, you're going to lift it up. And you're just moving through your left leg, holding fairly firmly to that right knee. And again, you're noticing any sensations that you feel. And if your leg like has this desire to stay in a particular position, like as I was bringing it towards my body, it was like, oh, I'm getting a little stretched there, I want to stay. Then pause for a moment. And you're still breathing as you move. Now, next time your left leg comes up, we're going to bend the left knee and hold on to that. And again, you're squeezing that knee towards the left knee towards the body. We're going to reach the right leg up towards the sky, and you're going to start to roll through the foot again. And you're pointing, flexing, rolling, whatever feels good in your body. Now again, eventually we're going to come to a place where we flex the foot, again, holding firmly to the left knee, and you're going to start to lower that right leg towards the ground, just hovering over the ground and lifting it back up towards your body, moving with your breath. Inhale away, exhale as you bring it in. So again, we get so much information from these little movements. And of course, paying attention to what's going on in the low back and the hips. And again, next time your leg is up perpendicular to the sky, we're going to bend both knees and just roll through the knees a couple of times in each direction. So you may be like, I'm kind of going in an ovular sort of motion, and I can feel the different points of my pelvis touching on the floor, right? And just kind of noticing what happens. And if you've been going in the same direction, just pausing for a moment and going a few times in the other direction. And you're still breathing, noticing how the body feels. Now, eventually, we're going to take the feet down to the floor one at a time. And we're going to have our feet about hip width apart. And what I want you to do, you're going to keep your feet on the floor, and you might have to adjust, where they are. But what I want you to do is tilt through the pelvis. So inhale, lift, tilt the pelvis up, exhale, tilt it down. So pubic bone pointing up on the inhale, exhale, and you're just moving through the low back, the pelvis on the floor with your breath, rocking back and forth, again, looking for information. If it hurts, back off a little bit or stop. And then we're going to pause there for a moment. And now, so we're going to try to keep the legs stationary and move your pelvis side to side, left to right. Now, obviously, everything's all connected, as I'm known to say, right? But noticing, can you move side to side without flopping your legs back and forth, right? Just exploring and seeing what happens. Again, eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop. And now I want you to stretch your arms out, and you're noticing, again, how your body feels on the floor, connecting with your breath. And we're going to start to make tiny movements. So we're going to move both knees to the right about 2 to 4 inches, no more than that, right? Inhale back to center, and then exhale, knees to the second side. So you're not trying to get your knees down to the floor. You're alternating side to side, 2 to 4 inches, so not very far at all. If it feels okay, you're going to take your head in the opposite direction of the knees. So sometimes we think we have to make big movements, and I find that we can get a lot of information and healing out of small movements, right? Now, next time you finish your second side and come back to the center, we're going to pause for a moment. And now you're going to walk your feet apart from each other another maybe 2 inches. And again, inhale, center, exhale. You're going to take the knees down maybe a little bit further now. And if it feels okay, head in the opposite direction. Inhale back to the center, alternate sides. And let's say, like one aspect of it, turning the head or the knees, doesn't feel good, then don't do that aspect. But you probably are noticing that with each segment, we're going a little bit deeper if appropriate for your body. So next time you finish your second side and we're back at neutral with the head and the knees, we're going to walk the feet out. This will be our last movement with the feet. So again, another 2 inches or so, and inhale, center, exhale, coming down as deeply as is comfortable for your body. Inhale, center, exhale, knees one direction, head in the other direction, moving as deeply as it feels comfortable for you. Always noticing breath and movements in the body. Now, next time that you complete on your second side, we're going to bring the feet back to about hip width apart. Arms are going to be at the side. So this is going to be a multi-step vinyasa, right? A flow of movements. So first step, inhale, you're going to press down with the feet, up with the arms, hips come up. Exhale, hips come down, arms come down, and your feet come off the floor. Inhale, extend arms and legs, legs up towards the ceiling, arm overhead. Exhale, knees come into the chest and you hold on to them. Inhale, feet come down to the floor, hips up, arms overhead. Exhale, hips down, knees in towards the chest. I think you're getting it, right? Next, inhale, arms overhead, legs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees into the chest. And you're really bringing them in, pulling them with your hands. Inhale, feet down, hips up, arms up overhead. Exhale, hips down, knees towards the chest. Inhale, arms overhead, feet up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees in towards the chest. One more time. Feet come down to the ground. Inhale, hips up, arms up. Exhale, knees in towards the chest. Inhale, feet up, arms up. And exhale, knees come in towards the chest. And then carefully bringing your feet down to the floor one at a time, pausing for a moment, noticing how you're feeling. And then in your own time, we're going to roll over to the side and we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. And so if you like a little blanket under your knees, you're going to place one there. And then we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. And, and yes, I have a lot of clothes on, sweaters and scarves because it's a little bit chilly. But I think you'll be able to figure out what's going on. You're going to engage those lower abdominals. Knees are about hip width apart, hands shoulder width, heels of the hands just slightly in front of the shoulders. Now, inhale is going to be up here with a tabletop position. Exhale down towards your child's pose. And you're going to do that a few times as deeply as is comfortable in your body, right? Just moving with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. No rush. Long, smooth breaths. And let's do one more. And when you come back up to your tabletop, you're going to pause for a moment. We're going to extend the right leg, turn your toes under, and you're going to reach the heel towards the ground, and you're kind of pressing away with your hands, stretching through the back of the leg. And we'll bring the right knee in and then do the left leg. Again, stretching out the left leg, toes turn under, reaching that heel away, pressing away with your hands, still engaging those lower abdominals and still breathing with the body. Now this next one, I'm going to give you two options, and of course you can add in your own. So here we are, you've brought your left knee in, we're on the hands and knees. Option one is you're going to extend the right arm and the left leg, so opposite arm and leg on the inhale. Exhale down to child's pose. Inhale up, do the second side. Your vision stays towards the ground. Exhale into child's pose. The other option is to, and so if you're doing that, you're going to keep doing that. Other option is to extend the right leg. So inhale, extend just the leg. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. And you'll do each side 3 times. Okay? So otherwise, you're doing opposite arm and leg and coming down into child's pose. So either way, whenever you finish your second side, we're going to come into a supported child's pose. So you might have a block, a pillow, a folded blanket under your head. And we're going to take the arms and just stretch them out along the sides of the body. And I want you to stay there for a couple of breaths. And so whenever we're holding in a position, you want to make sure that you're really comfortable, right? So if you're there and you're like, oh, how much longer do we have to stay in this position? Obviously, it's not a supported pose, right? So if that's you right now, I want you to make sure, adjust whatever you need to do to get yourself comfortable. Okay, so now we have our arms at the sides. We're going to walk them out in front overhead, and you're going to come up onto your fingertips. So you're still relaxing your forehead onto the block, the blanket, whatever it's on, and you're walking your fingertips away and relaxing your head towards whatever it's being supported by. Long, smooth breaths, stretching through your arms. You're up on your fingertips, reaching your wrists up towards the sky. Notice what's happening in your side bodies, your armpits, your shoulders. Still breathing. Now, when you start to feel complete with this, we're going to relax the arms, walk them in back towards the body, press yourself up, and you can move that block or whatever you were using under your head out of the way. And I want you to pause for a moment and notice how you're feeling. And we're going to come up into a kneeling position. And I like to have my knees about as wide as my hips, and we're going to turn the toes under so that your heels are pointing up towards the sky. So just make sure that you're comfortable. You could do this sitting down if it doesn't feel good to be in the kneeling position. So now I want you to stretch out your right arm in front, and you're looking at your fingertips or your hand. And you're going to inhale, bring that arm up. And you're only going to bring the arm up as far as your eyes can still see your hand. So that's your inhale. Exhale, back to center, hand comes down. And then you're going to alternate sides. So inhale, arm comes up, eyes stay on the hand. And so that means if you can't see your hand after it gets to a perpendicular place with your arm, then you don't go any further. Don't force it. Pay attention to what's happening in the rest of your body as you're moving. Noticing all those wonderful sensations, movements aligning with your breath. Long, smooth breath. Now, next time you finish your second side, you're going to pause for a moment and notice how that feels. And then I want you to roll through your shoulders. So inhale, shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, take them back. Now, if it feels better to do one at a time, you're going to go ahead and just roll through one shoulder at a time. Sometimes I like to do one, sometimes I like to do two. Luckily, I'm starting to warm up. All right. And then we're going to pause for a moment now here, and you might like to have blocks close by. What I want you to do is step forward with your right foot. Right? And we're going to stay here for just a moment, right? And notice how it feels, right? And you could have your hands on the floor, on some blocks. And the important thing, and I'll turn to this angle, which is how I usually do it, you have your knee over your ankle, right? So you're not letting the knee come way over the foot. And you might start to slide that back knee further back. Does that make sense, right? So you might start with the knee a little bit behind your hip. And as you're staying here, you might slide your left knee behind the hip a little bit more, opening the front of the hip flexor. Of course, never ever forcing anything. And most of you probably recall we a lot of times move back and forth here. And today I thought we would hold and slide the knee a little bit and just kind of see what results we get. Now, in your own time, we're going to start to straighten the right leg, flex the right foot, and notice if you look up towards the video, my hips are over my knee. If I drop my hips down to my heel, I lose all the stretch in the back of my leg. So you're going to keep your hips over your knee and then possibly bring your head and body towards your straight leg knee. And you're still breathing wherever you are. Long, smooth breaths, no forcing. Now, in your own time, we're going to bend that front knee and step your right leg back and step the left foot forward. And again, knee over the ankle. And maybe you're using your blocks under your hands. And we're going to hold the position, but even though it looks like a static position, I can feel movement happening, right? I'm pressing my left foot into the ground. I'm noticing how it feels in the front of my hip flexor. Long, smooth breaths. And again, you might want to slide that back knee back a little bit more or not. And in your own time, when you're ready, you'll walk your hands back, blocks if you're using them, straighten your left leg, flex the foot, and again, possibly bring your head and body towards that leg, always looking for, the making sure that you can breathe easily, smoothly, that you're not forcing anything, long, smooth breaths. And again, in your own time, we're going to bend that front knee and step your feet together. Now we're in a forward bend and bringing your hands onto your legs. We're going to inhale halfway up and exhale in towards your legs. And it's okay if you bend your knees, right? Inhale halfway up, exhale in towards the legs. Now, next time we come to that half forward bend, your body might be parallel with the floor. There might be a slight bend in your knees, vision towards the ground. And I want you to pay attention to your lower abdominals. And you might even take one hand onto them, right? And you're going to inhale, let your diaphragm and your body expand, and exhale, gently contract, right? You're paying attention to what's happening in your body as you breathe, using our breath to help strengthen the core, the abdominal muscles, and the low back. And next time you exhale, we're going to come into our forward bend, and then let's step back with the right foot into a high lunge. And again, you could have your hands on blocks or on the floor, long, smooth breaths. Toes turned under on the right foot, and you're going to reach that heel towards the ground, just like what we did when we were on the hands and knees. Long, smooth breath, still breathing. Now, if appropriate for you, you might take your hands off of the blocks and bring them up onto your thigh. Check in with your balance. Find a non-moving spot to look at on the floor, and then possibly stretch those arms up towards the ceiling. Now, we're going to inhale, bend the elbows, take them out to the sides, and exhale, you're going to straighten that leg and stretch the arms. Inhale, bend the knee, take the elbows out to the side. I'll turn the other direction so you can see. Inhale, bend the elbows and knee. Exhale, straighten the leg and the arms. Moving with your breath. And just like all the things that we do, if one aspect works for you, then you just stick with that one, right? Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Okay, now next time after we exhale, you're going to step your feet together. We're going to take the hands onto the thighs. Connect with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale, slide down the legs. And let's do that 2 or 3 times. Long, smooth breaths. Inhale is up. Exhale is down. Now, next time you're in your forward bend, we're going to take the hands onto the blocks or the floor and step back with the left foot. And again, we're holding here for a moment, noticing how the body feels. Back toes are turned under. You're reaching that heel towards the ground. If it feels appropriate for you, hands come up onto the thigh, finding your breath and balance, a non-moving spot to look at on the ground in front of you, possibly reaching your arms up towards the sky. Still breathing. Then in your own time, when you're ready, you're going to inhale, extend the elbows out to the sides, palms forward, knee bend. Exhale, straighten the arms and the leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Moving with your breath, noticing the wonderful sensations in your body as you move. Okay, this will be our last one. So as you exhale and extend, we're going to step the feet together, hands to the heart center. Pause here for a moment, feel your feet on the ground. And if you happen to have a tennis ball close by, you're going to grab your tennis ball and just roll through the feet for a moment. It's a great time to check in with your breath, body temperature, heart rate. How are you feeling? And now would be a good time to switch feet. And rolling our feet on the tennis balls gives us, again, so much information. So notice where you feel sensation on your foot. And if you're really curious, check out a reflexology chart online and see what parts of the foot, coordinate with the other parts of the body. So we're going to eventually stop rolling through the tennis ball, put it in a safe place. Now let's bring our hands to the heart center, thumbs on the sternum, and we're going to have the heels of the hands connected and the fingers, and you're going to press in towards the center. So you're resting the thumbs on the sternum. There's a little space between your palms, but the fingertips and the heels of the hands are connected. You're pressing in towards the center and you're breathing. You're going to take the weight into the left foot and start to come up onto your right toes, eventually bending that knee, flexing the foot, and bringing that knee up as high as it feels comfortable. Then we're going to roll through the ankle a couple of times in each direction. We're going to stop rolling through the foot. We're going to roll through the lower leg. And then bring that foot down to the ground. Release your hands for a moment. Inhale, take both arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring the hands back to the heart center. That gentle pressure on the sternum, the heels of the hands and the fingertips. Weight comes into the right foot. And then slowly start to lift the left knee, the left foot. The foot is flexed. Pressing in towards the center, rolling through the foot a couple of times in each direction. Pausing, rolling through the lower leg. Still breathing. And then we'll carefully take that foot down to the ground. Release your hands down to the sides. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands back to the heart center. Now you're going to take your weight into the right foot, lift the left leg up. You're keeping your leg straight here, reaching that leg out to the side, trying not to drop your body down. Leg comes down to the ground, shift your weight, reaching the other leg out to the side, still breathing. Foot comes down. Pause for a moment. If you have a block, you're going to grab your block and place it between your thighs. And here, what I want you to think about is pulling or pressing into the center with your legs. So feel your feet on the ground and squeeze that block with your thighs. And notice if you feel anything in your pelvis, your hips, your low back. All right, now holding on to that block, we're going to inhale, take the arms up in line with the ears, and exhale, sit into a chair. And just do that movement with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. And you're going to make sure that the low back feels good. Think maybe the words ease and flow, moving with your breath. One more time. And then as you inhale, come up, take that block out from between your legs. And we are going to make our way down onto our knees again, carefully. Okay, so I thought we'd do a little bit of flow before we come to the ground again. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. So you're kneeling, arms are extended. Exhale into child's pose. Inhale up to a tabletop. Exhale either into child's pose or down dog. Inhale, plank or up dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Inhale, tabletop, plank or up dog, or all of the above. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart center. We're going to do that one more time, I think. I just want to check on our time. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Inhale, tabletop, plank or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. And last time, inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart center. And from here, we are going to make our way down to the ground, extending your legs out with your feet flexed, hands come onto your legs. Maybe I'll turn to the side. So now, and you could have a little something under your sits bones. We're going to inhale up and exhale, come forward. Moving with your breath, inhale up, exhale, come forward. Now, next time you come up, I want you to take your left foot and you're going to slide it up your leg so that it points, your left knee points out to the side, right leg extended, and the foot is flexed. If this knee is floating in the air, you could put a blanket or a block underneath it. And we're going to reach those arms up towards the sky. Now, if this pulls on your back at all, you're going to keep your hands on your thigh. We're going to inhale up and exhale over that leg. Inhale up and exhale down. You could also keep your hands on your leg. Inhale, slide up. Exhale, slide down. So always doing what is appropriate for you. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then you're going to inhale up, slide and straighten your left leg and bring your left foot in, right foot in, sorry. And on this side, my knee is up, so I'm going to put a little block underneath there. Again, either stretching your arms up or keeping them on your thigh. Your straight leg, that foot is flexed. Inhale is up. Exhale over the leg. Working with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Or sliding up and down the leg. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. So when you come up, I want us to, and you can, a couple of different things that you could do here. So if you have a bolster, we're going to use that. If you don't have a bolster, you could use 2 folded blankets and kind of create your own little bolster and put that in the center of your mat. And you might want to have blocks close by, but you could also use a rolled blanket for this. I'm just going to grab one more blanket. And if you're using a blanket for this part, you're going to take the blanket in this fold and roll it up before we get ourselves down on the ground. Now, what you're going to do in this position, and of course you're going to modify however you need to, your butt is on the floor, you pull the blankets or bolster up to your low back, and you're going to bring yourself down onto your blankets or your bolster. Now, the knees, and this is where this blanket comes in, you would take it around your ankles and fold it in, open your knees out to the sides. So our legs are in a bound angle pose, meaning that the bottoms of the feet are touching each other and your knees are open out to the side. So you could either have blocks under your knees, or you can have the blanket wrapped around your ankles. And so now your whole body and head are supported. So you want to make sure that your head's not coming off of your blankets or your bolster. Your hands are either on your body or on the floor. You're going to try to relax your elbows. And if your elbows don't touch the ground, you might put something underneath them. And you definitely want some sort of support under your knees because we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. All right, so as you settle in, the question is, are you comfortable, right? And if you're not comfortable, what can you do to get yourself comfortable? Long, smooth breaths. If you haven't closed your eyes already, you're closing them now, softening the eyes into their sockets. Letting your body and your head become heavy. Relaxing your shoulders, softening the throat. Long, smooth, gentle breaths in and out of your body. Now, thinking about how you want to be for Shavasana, and some of you may choose to stay as you are, or you might want to, you know, straighten out your legs or get rid of what's underneath your back body. But thinking about how you want to be for Shavasana, and in your own time when you're ready, making sure, of course, you're warm and that you're comfortable, and then settling into your Shavasana. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Yonaha Prachodayat Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Yonaha Prachodayat. So ever so slowly start to bring your awareness back to your breath and to your body, and take a moment to notice how you're feeling in this moment, right here, right now. And maybe thinking about how you were feeling at the beginning, and what your intention was as you started this practice. And then in your own time, making your way up to a comfortable seated position. I want to do a short breathing practice. And so we started this practice around, you know, focusing on the hips and the neck. And I was thinking about, bringing up the energy. And so the breath that we're going to practice is to help bring up your energy. But if you're someone who is feeling anxious, this would not be a good breath for you to do. And I would invite you to just breathe regularly. So take a nice full inhale and exhale. And we're going to inhale, pause, inhale a little bit more, pause, inhale a little bit more. Exhale whenever you're ready. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. And then let your breath go back to its natural rhythm. Notice how you're feeling, mind, body, and spirit. And thinking about what you're going to do today. How do you want to be in your day with whatever you are doing? And then let's close with our 3 planetary healing sounds. So inhaling, taking your arms up towards the sky, exhaling the sound Q to the heart. Q. Inhaling, arms out, exhaling the sound ah to the heart. Ah. And inhaling, scooping up the sound om from the earth to the heart. Om. So I hope that each of you is finding some joy and peace in the holiday season, whatever that means for you. And I look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Namaste.